on, babies.
Cool. Thank you, Irene.
Hey, boys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the program. Allow us to get started with some opening takes. I'll go all week after this Carolina game. The escalating story from this Brian Burns motherfucker and Mac Jones going full Mr. Miyagi karate on his ass. That's what it seems like. And now him basically putting a hit on him. It's one of those things that crawled right up my asshole and it's been irking me all week and just had to get off my chest. How fucking weak? How weak do you need to be as a defensive lineman in the NFL to be bitching about this a full almost week later after it happened? And
happy hunting, boys.
It's much easier to bitch about a rookie quarterback like holding onto your ankle for dear life than it is to answer real questions about how your team fucking blows. So that's my conspiracy theory. You get a life loser. He just doesn't want to talk about how he fucking sucks.
Bush league, not dirty.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Chief, did you see? Like, here's the difference, because I don't think we're going to talk about this in the show. He got fucking wrecked from behind. Got up, the guy was getting off of him. Clearly, he knew he fumbled the ball and just grabbed onto him, held on for dear goddamn life. He didn't tweak his ankle. Like, if you see him spin, Mac Jones would have had to been properly trained in jiu-jitsu to spin his ankle like that, to flip a 250-pound man three times around. So that guy just got real annoying to me this week. Ray, why don't you give us your take?
Speaking of Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton's coming home, baby. What idiot franchise giving this guy $4.5 million guaranteed to sign another 1.5 roster bonus? He can make up to $10 million. Carolina, this is why you're a loser franchise and you'll never win anything. You bring back the most anyone but, who was it? Geno Smith you take as quarterback, and the Carolina Panthers sign this fucking fool. Terrible organization, terrible quarterback. Match made in heaven for these two.
Saves the Patriots $1.5 million on their salary cap. They'll get $1 million, $1.5 million from Cam's guaranteed monies. He signed more with Carolina, so you get $1.5 million credit to the 2022 salary cap. So thank you, Carolina. When you got about 30-ish million entering next year, so.
There you go. Thanks, Rain, man. Didn't know that. That's some news for you. Why don't you, why does the Queen, and we haven't heard this yet today.
I know I didn't send it in. I'm sorry.
Why don't you enlighten us with the Queen's take to start off the show today?
I want to talk about Taylor Hall's benching.
Ooh.
I think it's good to see 10 games into the season that second line has been pretty abysmal.
Caca.
You know, the secondary scoring is abysmal, and I think Taylor Hall's the right guy to bench in the third period. It's not a Jake DeBrusk where he's going to turtle up and kind of be gone for the whole season. I mean, it's a veteran. He was wearing the A 2 games ago, and he gets benched the next game. So I mean, it's sending a message to your team, and hopefully he's the one, you know, the veteran that we hope he is, and the player they brought him in to kind of get that second line scoring, because you can't rely on this number one line. Pastrnak has a goal tonight, and still that's about it. This is your number one line, and then you have Charlie McAvoy. That's it. You need Taylor Hall to fucking pick it up a notch. Earn your money.
Yeah. First line, no secondary scoring. Heard that before. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about, obviously, the Patriots versus the Browns. Big old matchup coming up this weekend. The latest on the OBJ situation has been settled. He'll be going to the Rams, so not much to talk about there, but we'll touch on it briefly, how it all shook out. A little Celtics talk. They've looked better, dare I say good, with Jaylen Brown out. And, Bruins look quite shaky. So welcome to the Superman Sports Show. Friday headlines, November 12th. Yep.
Happy Veterans Day, or whatever you say.
Yes, Bill, thank you for serving in the Civil War for us. We appreciate you. Much love.
Welcome to the show.
Is it a happy Veterans Day? Is that's one of those things that, like, I don't know. How do I say it?
Thank you and move on.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't say Happy Veterans Day.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what do you say there? I'm sorry.
Hey, Happy Veterans Day. Guy walks.
My brain's all fuzzy today. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You know. So I work with one. I just hired this kid, and I was like, "Hey,
work with one."
Oh no, guy. Hold on, a veteran. Hold on, a veteran, not a guy with no legs. No, like a real veteran. I was like, we give the day off. I was like, we give the day off if you want it. The guy almost refused. I was like, no, you're taking the fucking day off. It's a free day off. Go. Jesus. Thank you.
Well, I
Take
didn't
a
have it
day
off.
off.
Yeah,
I didn't either, but they give you
Those-
like if you're a
those
veteran
people-
at my work.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Those people.
Those
should.
people.
I hired one of them. Oh yeah. He can't
did.
help himself just being disrespectful, trying to be nice.
It's Bill.
Speaking
Bill.
of being no, these guys are never disrespectful. They're always the most respectful they can be because they're serving the best craft beer in New Hampshire at all times. White Birch Brewing in Nashua, New Hampshire. Address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
Good side of Amherst Street. Get down to the brewery. Head on down there. Check out some games. Get yourself a flight. Get yourself a pint. It's a beautiful beer drinking season. They got stouts. They got porters. Probably some German styles on there, and of course your favorite IPAs. You hop heads. If you can't get down to the brewery, get to your local beer store, wherever you get it. Tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you. All right, boys. Patriots, Browns. Big old matchup, but let's get the OBJ out of the way. Signs with the Rams. I guess you would label that under mystery teams. They had Packers up there. They had the Kansas
Saints.
City Chiefs, the Saints. The Patriots were in the mix.
Seahawks.
Seahawks. We got the breaking news that it was the Rams and then immediately retracted. And then 4 minutes later, breaking news again. Yep, it's the Rams. So a little bit of media jerk off going on there.
well, I think they wanted pen to paper first. I think it was like the handshake thing, and they wanted him to sign it before.
No, it's because Schefter stole the fucking scoop.
Mhm. Yeah, someone wanted.
Schefter
OBJ wanted someone to
Josina
break the
Anderson
news.
was reporting on this the whole time. And then Schefter scooped in there with his two fucking
Who's,
phones. and
who's
his
the other
little
one?
legs.
Who's
Sorry, Ray. Average size legs.
Thank you.
And stole the scoop.
who's that?
Who?
Rabini, Rabisi, or whatever. The girl from ESPN kept saying it was like the Packers,
Diana
Chiefs, Packers, Rossini.
Yeah, Rossini.
Yeah, you watch the
Whatever that
Bruins game.
stupid ass's name. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you can tell. You're not paying attention.
Commercial.
Diana Rossini is actually pretty. First, she's an attractive young lady,
Okay,
and
thank
she
you.
shits on her husband constantly. Like she just bashes him. She's like, I like Diana Rossini.
Is she the one married to Jalen Rose?
No,
Who's that?
Jesus, Bill. That's the anchor on First Take.
Ooh.
What, I forget her name.
Taylor?
Let's not go down this road. Patriots and Browns. OBJ goes to the Rams. They are a gluttony of talent. They just traded for Von Miller at the deadline. Now they get OBJ.
Fantasy
I'm a-
team.
A fantasy team. I'm on record. This isn't going to work. It never works. And Matt Stafford is at the helm. He's never come through in a big enough game. Granted, it was with Detroit. There's enough talent on here to field three teams. But you guys think it's going to work? Do you think OBJ is going to be a difference maker on that team that's already got three decent wide receivers and a pass catching tight end and Jared Cook?
No, because they're going to be a wild card team and they're going to get bounced in the second round of the playoffs. And it's going to be a glorious day for all of us to
Higby.
laugh.
Tight end.
Glorious day to all of us to
Okay, Cook
giggle.
went to the
at
Cubs,
how
Chargers.
bad they are.
Higby's good. Yeah, I'll take in the playoffs. I'll take the Bucks and the Packers over them. And the Cardinals.
I would feel better about it if he went. Say this was him last year going to the Bucks, right? That like think about the AB situation, a lot of headache, a lot of diviness on it. But you had Tom Brady there to kind of reel that all in. Matthew Stafford doesn't command a locker room like Tom Brady does, right? I don't think
They're just Sean McVay.
Right. Have you seen it? They're Nerf gun fights in the locker room, dancing after wins and shit. I mean, it's a childish locker room. A lot of these guys are older than the fucking kids. I don't think it's going to work. I was out on OBJ coming to the Patriots probably last night, this morning.
Okay.
Like,
yeah. Once Rich didn't,
Yeah.
once Rich
No,
wasn't
probably
around.
As soon as it looked like he wasn't going to come.
Yeah.
well, they
I'm out.
dragged it. I didn't like it dragged it out because exactly like if I would have been okay like right away. If they signed him right away, it's like, okay, here we go. But now you're dragging it out. You're not going to get him for 2 games if he's a Patriot, Sunday and Thursday. You get lucky if you get him Thursday. So I mean, you're not going to get him till after Thanksgiving. So I mean, the longer it got dragged out for the Patriots side of it, they weren't a contender enough, even though they were at interest.
Yeah, I was in on OBJ. I don't know if we said this on the show or it was just us texting back and forth, but I just think the difference between OBJ is him and Nelson Aguilar. And I think even if it's a handful of plays throughout the rest of the season that Beckham can make that Nelson Aguilar can't, that could be in this offense. There's not a lot of room for error. I thought that could have been a actual difference maker on this team, which has put themselves in a position to be in the playoffs. However, and this is not revisionist history, the longer it went on, the less I liked it because the idea of Odell Beckham Jr. trying to get his career back on track seemed like it went out the window with every hour that passed, because it seemed like he was going to every NFL team and making him wine and dine him like he was, the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it was just clear that it seemed clear that no, this guy hasn't changed. Like, he just forced his way to town. Now he's going to get himself the biggest payday in the best situation possible. He's not ready to commit to football as it should be. So maybe that's a little revisionist history, but I'm with Bill. If he'd come and Patriots right away, I think it would have shown us that, all right, he wants to come and play for Belichick and kind of do the Patriots thing.
If you had Tom Brady, you're getting him right away. I think he signs right away. And that's no matter how much Bill might have wanted him, you heard legitimate interest from a lot of beat guys, a lot of well-connected guys inside the Patriots bubble for media reporters. And if you had a Tom Brady there to pull, because let's be real, if you put Tom Brady on this team, you're probably 8-1. I know you played Tom Brady, but the same schedule, right. You're probably 8-1 in this league right now, and you're getting him. LA looks like with the Von Miller. I think that Von Miller trade basically sealed it up for him going to the Rams. Now he gets to go out there in LA, all these stars. He's a fucking diva. He likes showing up at all these big media events, all that shit, party with fucking James Harden, LeBron, all those guys. Perfect situation for him. I don't think it's going to work. I think you're trying to put way too much talent on a team there's too many. You start putting too many egos. You start putting too many egos in a locker room where you don't have a good enough leadership at the top of the coaching rank. Like, this works for guys like Belichick, guys like Reed, even Sean Payton, Mike Vrabel, Mike Tomlin. That's the shit it works for. Not Sean McVay. Oh, hey, golly, guys, sucking Bill Belichick's dick at the Super Bowl, fucking trying to pump up Jared Goff on the sidelines as Belichick's killing him every fucking time he throws the football. Like, I just don't think the ego's there with Odell, and it's just not going to work. Deshaun Jackson couldn't even work in this offense, and Vance Jefferson as a third wide receiver. I know Beckham's going to slide in there, but he's been pretty fucking serviceable. I understand the talent's there. Cleveland's paying the salary, but you have bigger holes in running back than you do at wide receiver there for that team. But
what do you mean? So Shell's not working out over there?
Neither is really Henderson. You lost Akers at the beginning of the year. He tore his ACL, and that was that
joke, Bill. It was.
And look, and this is the part that a lot of probably Patriots fans will not admit. Patriots lost this. They lost this bidding war. They wanted him. They didn't get him. And for whatever reason, we'll never know. But they wanted him and they didn't get him. So Belichick wanted him for a reason. Either he doesn't have faith in this, but they've had a love affair for each other for a number of years since he was on the Giants. And so that was also the part that a little bit surprising, that they had this relationship, and the fact that he didn't want to cultivate it even for half of a season kind of speaks volumes for the guy and the player that Odell Beckham Jr. is. Not to say Bill Belichick is God in football, but basically he is.
It's hard to ring chase when you're jumping on a 5-4 team compared to a 7-2 team, right? And that's exactly what Odell Beckham's doing right now. He's ring chasing.
You think so? You think he's ring chasing? I don't know.
Kansas City would have been to play with Mahomes. Green Bay, who's 7-2, and Aaron Rodgers is playing this week, and now you're going to the Rams. I mean, that's two of the top three teams in the NFC, and then Kansas City, but still, I don't
know if it's ring chasing. I think it's touchdown chasing. And
I think it's ring chasing. I really do. Because I think he would put up the stats in a Patriots offense, because I think the way Odell Beckham plays, you can line him up in the slot, you can send him deep. I think he's a perfect complement of wide receiver that they need. He would get better stats with the Patriots than he will with because
the Patriots passing offense sucks. It sucks.
He's not getting the ball in LA.
They threw
Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods are pretty formidable.
And Higbee's the other guy.
Yeah,
Higbee's
but Stafford will go back there and throw it 55 times a game.
Oh, they're going to have around. They're going to have to. They don't have a running
18 times. Odell Beckham very easily could go 3 games in a row with the Patriots and not even.
Yeah, you're probably right. I take everything back I said.
Fair enough. Speaking about the next. Speaking about the game coming up, Patriots and Browns, big playoff implications. You're currently the last wild card. You're in 7th place. The Patriots are. You're 1 spot ahead of the Browns. Same record here.
KC too. Don't forget about that. They're right behind you too.
Nick Chubb is on the COVID. We're not sure if he's in or out. That might be as close to game time as you can get. How big of a deal is that if he misses this game for both teams, I guess, but in terms of the Patriots catching a break?
Huge. Huge, and you need this break. I mean, Nick Chubb was number 2 in the league rushing before he went down with COVID. You know, and then Jonathan Taylor passed him this week, but he's right up there, top 3. He missed a couple games, but dude, he's a dual threat. You know, I've said it before. You have no linebackers. Jamie Collins missed practice today. Hightower can't catch running backs out of the backfield. Neither can Van Noy, and he's a dual threat. He can break an 80-yard touchdown. They played 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He had 2 fumbles, but if you look at after that, he dominated the Patriots, and that makes Baker more scary. He sucks, but like when they're running with Nick Chubb, that opens up their whole offense. Jarvis Landry could kill this team, and he has for many years. And we're in Miami, so I mean that opens up more of their passing game with Baker. I think Nick Chubb's again, he's a top 5 back.
He's a difference maker. Right now. Yeah, he's a difference maker.
Difference maker.
If he's not there, that's their DNA. They won't be able to do the play action. It's going to be double teaming Jarvis Landry and just be like, all right, make your run game beat us. So I don't think they can. If he doesn't play, it's a big loss for the Browns this weekend,
especially for a team that struggles against the run. I mean, last week was an outlier because Christian McCaffrey was playing for the first time in like 5 weeks, or 6 weeks. So it was a while. Nick Chubb is healthy. So, I mean, if he plays, I don't think he's going to be that big of a difference maker, especially if he was kind of bogged down with COVID. Like, so you never think he doesn't practice all week. He doesn't get in there.
You think
tomorrow.
It's a break for the Patriots both ways?
I think so. I still expect him to do good, but like, how's his energy? You saw J.C. Jackson last week kind of get bogged down. He only played half the plays with coming back from strep throat. So, I mean, COVID, it hits you pretty hard. I had the fucking vaccine scaries after my second shot. So I can only imagine if you did get COVID, even if it was a couple days to bog him down. Who knows?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because it's so close to game time. He'll have to have 2 negative tests. So I guess that
24 hours apart. Yeah.
That would mean that the symptoms didn't hit him that hard would be my understanding, but who knows? We're not going to do the COVID doctor thing right now.
Well, he's vaccinated too, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
If he wasn't, he'd get the Aaron Rodgers treatment. He'd be out a minimum of 10 days.
Right. And Aaron Rodgers is the guy that seems like he hasn't had any symptoms. He'll step in on Sunday and play and probably throw 4 touchdowns.
He ain't playing Sunday. Fuck you.
Yeah, he is.
Yes,
he's playing. Yeah, he is.
Ray, I know we don't care about this, but it just should be known that Ray went out and traded Aaron Rodgers for Dak Prescott, gave up a 4th round pick because he thought Aaron Rodgers was not going to come back. Who is his finish? You're an idiot.
Fucking idiot. He was always coming back. He got fined $14,000. What a slap on
We'll get to it. How do you beat this team on defense? And I want to stick with the defense because I think that's how they're going to win this game because I think the Patriots offense is taking a step back. However, they should be able to put points up too because this Cleveland defense kind of sucks. I have some stats for you in a second. But the obvious thing here, we've seen this time and time again, 20 years with Belichick, is a team with a strong run game and Nick Chubb. Let's say he's going to play, whether he's downtrodden from COVID or not. You stack that box, you back your secondary up, and you make Baker Mayfield beat you, and you make him go 12, 13 play drives down the field and wait and hope for your mistakes. Try to hold him to field goals. You know you're getting 1 or 2 bad balls out of Baker. And that's the game plan. And the pass catchers on the Cleveland Browns, yeah, Jarvis Landry has beat you in the past, but he's older now. He's dealing with injuries. He had a bad game last week. He missed a couple weeks. Austin Hooper hasn't done shit for them after signing that giant contract. Name me another Cleveland Browns pass catcher.
Peoples Jones, but I think he was out of practice today. He's a deep threat there. But yeah,
is Njoku back or no? Is he still out?
I don't know. But I mean, the game plan.
Man, I never hear anything from Njoku.
Yeah,
that one season.
And he's requested a trade a couple of times. I mean, the game plan was what you had last week against Christian McCaffrey. You know what I mean? You're going to see a lot of zone and then just kind of, let Baker find his reads and beat you. You're going to try to stop the run, right? I mean, like I said, Gottschall, Barmore, and you got to get pressure on Baker Mayfield with Barmore and Judon. That's the key. I mean, Baker's beat up. He's got a bad shoulder. You need to put some hits on him and rattle him quick. So you start rattling. Baker's the guy who's going to unravel very fast, especially if he misses a lot of throws in a row. I mean, you've seen him. Matt Judon's tied for second in the league with 9 sacks. He needs to put a couple big hits on Mayfield and just rattle him. That's how you're going to beat him. Yeah. I think Nick Chubb is the key to that because if you can contain Nick Chubb, if he's healthy and ready, you could contain him and try to make Baker beat you. I think that's a win for the Patriots because I don't think Baker's going to do it. And I think Barmore and Matt Judon are 2 huge reasons why. And that's a good offensive line. They get pressure on them.
I don't even know if you need to control Nick Chubb all that much. You've seen this too. If that Cleveland run game goes off for 160 yards, but you hold him to field goals because Mayfield can't convert in the red zone, and your offense does their job and gets their 24 points, which is basically what they've been doing the last couple of weeks, then I think you're in pretty good shape. And let me give you some statistics here, Ray, where I think you are in pretty good shape offensively. We might see a little bounce back here from Mac and company. The Browns' defensive stats across the league, they are 18th in overall points allowed, 30th in yards per game at 309, 21st in points allowed per game at 21.6, 24th in passing yards per game at 225, 30th in rushing yards per game at 84.8. The Patriots have had things rolling on the ground as of late. We'll see if their two backs can play, in Harris and Ramadan Ding Dong, who are both dealing with head injuries. But either way, I think this is a bounce back game for Mac. Denzel Ward is a top cornerback for Cleveland, but outside of that, their secondary has been not great. So, I expect the offense to be able to bounce back and give them enough cushion to let Cleveland run and hope Baker makes a mistake and let your defense get a turnover. That's the recipe that you've had the last couple weeks to get these wins, and I don't expect.
Yeah, but the recipe is going to be little not complete this week, because if Damian Harris, who was the leading back for us, is not playing, nor Ramadan Ding Dong, that means you got JJ Taylor and Brandon Bolden, which I don't think you can make a game plan around those two. So I think it's going to be one of those weeks where it's going to be, you're praying that Damian Harris can make it out of concussion protocol, because if not, I think we're going to have a big problem.
I think it's a good sign that you didn't see him even bring one running back in. You thought this week they brought 3 defenders in for workouts, and they were linked to Odell Beckham Jr. I'm hoping that's good signs that at least one of them are cleared to play this week. I think if it was more serious, you probably would have seen him bring somebody in.
Well, as of today, they still haven't practiced, correct?
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things. If you see him come back tomorrow, they're probably good to go. And who knows how bad they were? They didn't. I mean, I think Harris was probably worse. I thought he was wobbling pretty good, but I mean, again, I mentioned it earlier this week. I thought Stevenson just hurt his leg because he came up holding his leg and then he went to the 10 afterwards. So, I think if you're looking at concussions, I'm not trying to grade them, but just the look of the two players, I would expect at least one of them back.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not going to run in with 2 running backs, because Gunnar Olszewski is out too, because he got popped. He was wobbling. You guys saw that live. He was wobbling.
He was shaking off the field for sure. Well, either way, that's going to be certainly a tough pill to swallow if your running backfield is Bolden and JJ Taylor. But you just need
Jonnu Smith. I expect Jonnu Smith. You'll see Jonnu Smith in the backfield a lot.
Well, I hope so, and I hope he can fucking do something, because that guy is top of my list for guys who have not contributed outside of Trent Brown, who everyone forgets, but he was back at practice today. I don't expect him. He's not going to play in this game, but just a little bit of foreshadowing. If he does come back ever, do you think? I know we all probably think that they should put him at left tackle and move Wynn somewhere. Do you think they will?
No, I think they're gonna go back what they had, Brown at the right, and then Enunwa at their left guard. Did I say it right that time?
Yeah, I think Owinu. I think I figured it out. Wasn't he a wide receiver for the Jets?
Yes,
wasn't he?
You're right. Yeah, you remember he broke his neck or something.
Okay.
Well, no, wasn't that the guy
Casey and Enunwa or whatever, Enunwa?
Wasn't that the guy that punched Geno Smith?
No, that was some other.
No, but thank you for bringing it up. He probably punched Geno Smith too. I think everybody's punched Geno Smith in the face just for being a dickhead and an asshole. All right, well, it should be a good game. This is the Browns have been up and down all season. I don't think we really know what team we're going to get here, but there's certainly a chance for some big mistakes. I think it's your first, well, not your first, but it's another test. Last week wasn't. The Jets weren't. The Chargers certainly were. If you can continue to rack it up and get another win here, that's going to continue to build the confidence. And I feel confident. How about you guys? You want to do a prediction?
Sure.
Go ahead, Ray.
24-21 Patriots.
Ooh, nice.
I kind of like that too. I'll go 27-24 Patriots.
Ooh, nice. I'll go 26-23 Patriots.
Nice.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. No, I price is right as you're there. All right. Well, we'll be paying attention to the game, and we'll be right back with some Celtics talks and the simplest mind of the week right after headlines with the obvious one.
The Celtics defeated the Toronto Raptors 104-88. Jason Tatum flirted with a triple-double with 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. Dennis Schroeder pitched in with 20 points of his own. Celtics have won 3 of their last 4 and take on the world champion Milwaukee Bucks tonight at the Garden. The Bruins survived the Senators 3-2 on Tuesday. The erection line pitched in 2 goals with Marchand and Bergeron. Somehow Derek Forbort found his second goal of the season. Jeremy Swayman remains undefeated at home, collecting 25 saves. Bruins face the Oilers on Thursday before back-to-back games Saturday and Sunday. They won't play for a week. Who made this fucking schedule? The Patriots take on
Good
the
reading,
Cleveland.
Ray. Good reading. Keep it up,
Thank
buddy.
you. The Patriots take on the Cleveland Browns.
Flowed so smooth, huh? Jesus
Every
Christ.
single running back is questionable for the game on both sides. The Patriots currently hold the last wild card seed just ahead of the Browns. Cam Newton returns to the Carolina Panthers for the rest of the year on a $10 million deal worth $4.5 million guaranteed. The Panthers are officially dead. NFL pretends to punish Aaron Rodgers with a $14,000 fine. The Packers receive a $300,000 fine for violating COVID protocol, and the league remains undefeated. And and Aaron Rodgers probably won't play this week. This has been the headlines by the obvious one. Yeah, you're welcome. I gotta proofread that a little better next time. My bad.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Welcome back.
Sorry,
Gotta say, that was your 3rd time, Ray. It's gotten worse every time.
Thank you.
Yeah, he started off with a bang. Now it's just like
I didn't
Well, he
proofread
probably
that
practiced the first one. He was nervous, had a beer and a half, got himself in a good state of mind, and now he just feels real cocky and is just reading it off like cue cards in a 5th grade play.
What I keep thinking of is Anchorman, and you're gonna put something in there one time, and I'm just gonna be reading it and be like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking dumbass."
challenge accepted. You're such a dildo, right?
Go fuck yourself, San Diego. I'm Ron.
Why am I a
Burgundy.
dildo? Why am I a dildo for saying that?
No, full dildo status. Speaking of dildo status, the Raptors went into Boston there and got their asses kicked 104-88 from the Celtics. Like Ray, the obvious one, just mentioned very smoothly. Tatum had 22 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Schroeder 20 points, and also I think like 14 fucking turnovers. I don't know if you guys caught the game, but Schroeder was throwing the ball away like it was
more
candy.
turnovers than shots made. I believe
It was ugly at times, but teams playing better. Robert Williams, 16 points, 13 boards. They had 12 offensive rebounds. They're kind of all over it there. 21 assists, which is good for them. 15 turnovers. Most of them were Schroeder, and 50 points in the paint. So they've kind of switched things around. They're, gotten their team back on track. And that's with Jaylen Brown out for about 1 to 2 weeks with a hamstring injury. I don't know. We asked the question, is this team better without Jaylen Brown, Raymond?
I'll answer that after the game tonight against the Bucks. Because if they can handle the Bucks,
the show's on. We're
back-to-back.
doing the show right now, right? And I asked you the question right now. Are the Celtics better without Jaylen Brown?
they haven't played anyone big without Jaylen Brown, so I'm not. It's undecided still. If they can beat a big team, no, fuck you. That's my answer. If they can beat the good team like the Bucks without Jaylen Brown, then yes, they are better without Jaylen Brown. But if they go in there and they get their asses handed to them by the Bucks, then no, they're not a good team without Jaylen Brown. They'll need it.
No, that's wrong. They're not a better team without Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's a fucking all-star. He's averaging 26 points a game, I believe. I mean, I don't think him and Tatum play great together, and I think maybe long-term one of them's got to go. But for now, you're a better team. You're a better team with Jaylen Brown. You got two all-stars and budding superstars in Brown and Tatum. How can you subtract a superstar or budding superstar all-star, legitimate all-star out of your lineup for 2 weeks and expect to be a better team with him out? No,
I'm just saying because of the chemistry. If you guys think about the chemistry, if Tatum can't play
the
with
chemistry
Brown,
starts with Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
Let's ask this question when Marcus Smart's out, right? If you have Brown and Tatum and all these guys, if Marcus Smart goes down and you start winning a bunch of games and beating teams like the Bucks, the Lakers, good teams in this league, then you could talk about fucking chemistry, and then it all goes to Marcus Smart. I don't think chemistry goes through Brown and Tatum just because they don't like each other. I think the chemistry issue is all Marcus Smart.
Yep, I agree. They're not winning on offense. The offense definitely looks better, but they're winning on defense, which has nothing to do with Jaylen Brown in or out. The last 3 or 4 games, they've held teams under 90 points. They're buying in. They're finally buying in. They punched each other in the face at whatever fucking team meeting they had in Orlando, and it's looked good ever since. And that was with Jaylen Brown for most of the game in Miami,
They
which
all
has
ate
been their
the
best
cookie.
win, which has been their best win of the season. They should have had the one in Dallas, except for Marcus Smart. And Jason Tatum has finally got a shot back, which struggled the first part of the season. They've lost 2 double overtime games and got embarrassed in a couple games at home. It looked really bad to start because of how bad last year looked, and they deserved all the criticism that they got to start the season. But they're buying in. They're buying in. And when Jaylen Brown comes back, he'll have to buy in and figure out his place in that offense. And where that should be is right on the other side of the court. Because if you watch the way they're playing and actually pass the ball, Jason Tatum has it. He drives or gets doubled. They kick it, and someone has an open shot. If that guy is Jaylen Brown instead of Grant Williams, you're in pretty good fucking shape if you're the Celtics. So, no, they're better with Jaylen Brown for sure. And I just want to give you a quick look at the East because it's fucking wide open. Absolutely. The Wizards are in first place at 8-3. The Bulls, 8-3. The Nets are 8-4. Sixers are 8-4. Heat 7-4, Cavs 7-5, the Knicks are 7-5. Then it's Bucks, Raptors, Hornets with 6 wins, Celtics after that, Hawks, Pacers. All those teams are potential playoff teams in the East. After that is the Magic and the Pistons. Those guys are tanking.
They're not.
But that's what. How many teams are in the East? 16.
15.
What's that? 14 teams that are legitimately will be fighting for playoffs, and then you got that stupid play-in tournament. So there's going to be every one of those teams is going to be playing. No, I do too. Actually, I should have said stupid. I think
Can I ask you a question? Is Brooklyn better without Kyrie?
In my eyes, the world was better without Kyrie.
No, but for legitimate talent, like are they better with Kyrie in the lineup?
No.
I don't know. I don't.
The answer is yes. Again, it's another all-star. Say what you want about Kyrie head-wise, but he's got the talent, and they were fun. They were great in the playoffs last year, and then they started getting hurt. They have Kyrie in the lineup. They're the best team in the league.
If James Harden can get used to these new rules with the defense that the NBA has now, he will be better. And this
didn't he had 17 free throws like the day after he bitched about it. Was that true? Or
I'm starting to worry that the NBA is going to be coming off this because Damian Lillard's now gone out there and bitched about it. So there might be this movement from the stars to start bitching.
Once
about
LeBron starts really bitching, then it gets in Ray's cousin's ear.
We might see a little bit of movement there. For sure. My point is the East is just so open at this point.
Or the adult Jeff Abquits.
The Celtics have come to mostly the top of this East, except for the Raptors, which was an embarrassment. But even they're at 500 like everybody else. So, I don't know if we can take a lot from the beginning part of the season. Hopefully the Celtics continue to buy in. What you should be buying in on is Back to Basics. Back to Basics CBD with Dr. Tom down in Rhode Island. You're going to want to get yourself to backtobasicsllc.com. At backtobasicsllc.com, you can get a free item with every order that you make. You also get a personalized email from Dr. Tom. You guys can work out your plan for the best CBD wellness and your path to a medical marijuana card in Rhode Island or any state in New England. So go to backtobasicsllc.com. That's BAK, the number 2 basicsllc.com for all your CBD needs. All right, let's do the simplest mind of the week.
Are you crazy or just plain stupid?
Stupid as stupid does, Mrs. Blue.
I guess.
There we have 2. I'll give you the first one was this fucking asshat. Actually, Ray, you want to go first?
Oh, I'll go
with yours. Go ahead. So I gotta find something here.
Yes, mine was Markieff Morris and the Morris twins in general because after the Jokic hit, we've been texting all week with each other after seeing this, and now the Jokic brothers getting involved. You do not fuck with people from Serbia, my friends. They are going to fucking annihilate you, and you're starting a Twitter war. November 29th is going to be the highest rated regular season basketball game when the Nuggets play the Heat once again because the Jokic brothers are flying over and they're going to be.
They already bought tickets. They already bought tickets.
Ding, ding, baby. Fucking run your mouth, Morris twins, because you're going to get annihilated by 7-foot fucking Serbians. Good fucking luck.
Nikolai Jokic, right? The basketball player. He was like, I don't fear anybody except for my brother who's 7 feet tall, covered in what looks like Russian mafia tattoos, including neck tattoos. And that guy almost ran on the court and killed Devin Booker last year during the playoffs. Like, I mean, the Morris brothers, they did beat the shit out of some guy in college and almost went to jail for it, but that's different.
These aren't college
kids. This isn't like the ghettos or wherever fucking in Miami or wherever the hell they're from. This is like Eastern European fucking former commie whack jobs.
The Eastern Bloc. That's Eastern Bloc tough.
Like
I don't give a fuck how tough you are in America. You're soft.
This poor America, and then there's poor Eastern Bloc of Europe, poor, and that's where these motherfuckers came from.
You know that picture of Jokic as a kid who's like a fat, chubby kid that's gone around. Yeah. Even he looks intimidating in that picture as like a 13-year-old fat boy. Yeah, those guys are not anybody to fucking mess with. And on the actual play and the incident, speaking of.
Morris was a bitch on that too.
Whether he was faking it or actually got hurt. First of all, he threw the first cheap shot. He went to Jokic's ribs as he shot the ball, and Jokic fucking just pushed him in the back.
Never turn your back, baby.
But like he went down like he got shot.
Oh,
so not a big plus to your tough guy card there.
But no, definitely simple mind for me right there.
That probably wins. Mine was Scott Boras, who went to the meetings with some Dr. Seuss fucking bullshit about his players. I'll read you a couple and let me know if you puke in the meantime. Quote, "This is the Easter Bunny delivering rotten eggs," he said Wednesday. "Every team says I need to do this because it's my only option, knowing I can't reach a division crest and get into the playoffs." He's talking about basically teams selling off their players, and the Braves being the beneficiary of that, getting 4 really good players at the deadline because the MLB has become the NBA and everyone's just selling off their teams. And I didn't fucking take the quotes that I wanted to take. So
baseball's been doing that forever. You're selling off your teams, but you're getting prospects that are coming from years to come. It's not like you're selling your team like NBA players do to just get contracts. You're selling these guys to get legitimate prospects. You've seen some big deals. Fernando Tatis Jr. was moved in a big deal from Chicago White Sox. So like there's big deals with these prospects.
Yeah, so I don't know what Scott Boras was talking
right
about.
Off.
I don't know what his fucking point was with this, but I found it. This is what I want to talk about that was just cringeworthy. He had 4 free agents that he was representing, and he had a little Dr. Seuss rhyme for each one. I'll go through them. Nick Castellanos. Quote, "I kind of advised all of you like 2 years ago that St. Nick was going to bring lots of presents. And frankly, we're just going to sit back and see what teams have been naughty and what teams have been nice."
He's going to get $30 million though.
Chris Bryant to Sean Connery saying he has Bond-like abilities to create a great middle of the lineup. He's always red hot in the hunt for October. He's an extraordinary gentleman in a league of his own. He wrote these fucking things down and went to the winter meetings and pitched them as as trying to get his clients contracts. Michael Conforto, King of Queens, he said, "But I'm in free agency now. He's kind of like the ace of my many GM's hearts." Marcus Semien,
he can never stay healthy. Yeah, I like him a lot.
Quote, "He kind of brings a charge into the batter's box and kind of, he insulates the middle of the infield. So he's truly a modern day Semien conductor. We all know there's a shortage of chips worldwide." Do you like that? Did you think that the Red Sox should sign him for that?
Not the stupid nursery rhyme that he just wrote, but I've been big on Semien for a while. I think you have no plan at second base, and that guy
don't give me an actual take on this. Get mad about Scott Boras with me. What a fucking tool. What is this guy thinking?
He's an idiot, but you know what? Whatever he's thinking, it fucking works because everybody comes running to him and they get fucking paid.
Yeah, that's probably true. We're all talking about it right now. God damn it. All right. Speaking of assholes and dinks, Taylor Hall gets benched by Bruce Cassidy. Bruce Cassidy, quote, "You have to be playing winning hockey in the third period. I don't care who you are," end quote. Bruce Cassidy. So that's not good for Taylor Hall. Bill, you think he'll bounce back. I agree with you. But how is this team not even like any better than last year? How is it good? How is it better than middling? I mean, there's no secondary scoring. There's no young developing talent on this roster, and there's a lack of defensive depth behind Charlie McAvoy. It's like it feels like watching the Patriots last year with no vision. There's no path. They're not building towards anything. They're just treading water, and frankly, they're drowning.
No, I don't disagree. I mean, you're just seeing the inept of the drafting over the last 4 or 5 years, and including the picks you traded away for to get rid of David Backus, to get Rick Nash. I mean, and then you haven't drafted a first round pick probably since McAvoy, and before that Pasternak, that's really been on this roster. I keep referencing the 2015 draft. You ended up with Jake DeBrusk. When there's 6 guys that go after the 3 picks that you wasted in that draft, and 5 of them are all-stars. It just goes back to that.
But even 15, and I know they traded away some of these first rounds, Rick Nash and whatever else, but that was 6 years ago. Even if these players had developed and got into the league, they're all looking for a second contract at this point. Jake DeBrusk just got his, right? So you still don't, there's not even any young talent behind them. They've butchered the drafts past that.
Well, no, I mean, you still got Pasternak, I think, came right before that too. So you drafted up there, and then that 2015 draft killed you because you haven't produced a lot outside of McAvoy. Studnicka's not there. Vakanainen, who was another high pick, not there. Trent Frederick was a first-round pick, and he hasn't done shit. These are the years that these young players in your draft picks from 2018, 2019, you would hope 2020 would make an impact, but no, they're not. Beecher down there in Michigan is out for the year again, can't stay healthy. That was a guy they're banking on for forward depth there. Their plan all hinges on their prospects down in Providence, and they just haven't drafted well to stockpile that, and you're seeing it now. There's not a plan. They are treading water. You saw it in the offseason. Foligno, Hula, Hulka, whatever his name is, and that other guy, and we're Nozak.
You can't say N-word.
You can't say N-word.
They can't say that.
I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I just meant never mind.
But how bad is it that Taylor? Can I go real quick? How bad is it that Taylor Hall has not even been here for a full year, is already getting benched? He's out every place he's been. His welcome's been fucking thrown away after a year. So is this bad that already he's getting benched?
No,
I think
no, I don't think
I'll
so.
Let you go here, Bill, but because I'll quickly. He's 10 years in the league. He's got some shitty habits that I think need to be broken. And one of the reasons that we were all happy about this, and a lot of Bruins fans are happy about Taylor Hall, is because you have Marchand and Bergeron, and you have a steady foundation to the Bruins. So I expect him to bounce back. His production, frankly, never mind his hustle. His production has to get better. He has to elevate his teammates, his line mates. And that's what I would be concerned about, not him dogging it. That'll happen from time to time with a guy like that after 10 years. He needs to be better. He just frankly needs to be better.
Yeah, and I don't think it's wearing out his welcome. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Right? I don't think it's wearing out his welcome. I mean, it's, Bruce is a coach to do it. I don't think he's had really great coaches throughout his career. I think Lou Amaretto or Lamaretto, whatever the fuck his name is for the Devils. I think he was probably the best coach that he's had, maybe. But I mean, I think Bruce is
MVP with him.
Won an MVP with them. So I mean, he's always been the number one option. So maybe he's probably dogging it, knowing he doesn't need to. And you've seen other coaches not take bench him. Even in Buffalo, dude, he had 2 goals and he was a -16 in Buffalo, and they still ran him out there every year. I mean, yeah, he was clearly dogging it, and that coach wouldn't even bench him. I don't care if you're a losing team. You send a message to your best player, and again, he's a top 3-4 player on a Bruins roster right now, and you're sending a message, and then Bruce Cassidy's the right coach to do it. Let's hope he takes the message and wakes his ass up. But then, again, it goes back to the leadership on the team, Bergeron, Marchand, and especially Bruce Cassidy. I mean, I've liked every move Cassidy's make until he's got in the playoffs. That's going to be questioned, but he's a fucking damn good coach in this league.
So how about when Sweeney brings Tuukka back and he starts him?
Nah, everything I just said is out the window.
The quest is on. The quest is on. All right. Well, hopefully they bounce back. What's the score now, Bill?
1-1.
1-1.
1-1. Oh, quickly, you want to touch on that? They play this game on Thursday, Saturday and Sunday. They play back to back, and then they don't play again until Saturday the next week. What the fuck kind of scheduling is?
It's been like this all year to start. I mean, look, they started a month ago and they're 10 games in. I think they were working around baseball playoffs, but now, I don't know why you would do it now.
Olympics, so
are other teams have this? Do other teams have this schedule? I don't think so, because you look at the standings and the other teams have played a lot more games than the Bruins.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's not like the Celtics have had a lot of home games. I don't know if there was
Right.
concerts or shows. There might. Joe Rogan was here after the Bruins started, so I mean, there's been maybe that had a lot of probably scheduling that way, but I have no fucking idea. Usually, you just throw them on the road, but to go a week, but that just means you're playing a shit ton of games because the Olympics is coming up this year. You're gonna have the Olympic break, and then you're gonna play a fucking shit cram schedule, and that it's gonna catch up to you.
Shit cram.
Yeah, backed up.
Is that a new move? Irene teach you that?
No, it's not an Urban Dictionary thing. We don't have to explain anything to you,
Okay.
Rich. Don't worry.
This has been the Simple Mind Sports Show. Friday headlines, November 12th. We'll see you on Sunday for early lines. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Can I tell you something though? As being the one in last place, I'm fine shaving my beard because it's not gonna hurt to shave my beard. I would happily lose my beard than to get my taint waxed
No,
by
there
my
we go.
wife.
There we go.
Yeah,
There
no,
we
the
go.
penalty is certainly better this year than it was last year. It's just funny that
There's bets going on that you're not even going to fulfill this bet because you're a little pussy ass cunt.
yeah, there's some side bet going on that you just won't do it.
Oh, I'll shave my beard off. He'll grow back.
And your
and you
head.
guys and your head.
No, 8th grade look. I've had the same haircut since middle school.
Bullshit.
Oh.
No, that was the bet. Shave the beard with the razor and whiffle the head. That was the bet.
No, 8th grade look.
That's not your 8th grade look.
No,
I've
we
had the
this
same
conversation
haircut
because
forever.
my 8th grade look was a wing. Ray thinks it was a headband, and that was clearly determined that that's not what I would have to do. I would have to shave my head because
All
that's
right.
what I'm very nervous about. I really don't want to shave my head. I don't care about my beard. So you're shaving your fucking head.
You
if
shave
do
your
this.
beard all the time.
I bring it down pretty close.
Yeah, you usually do a mustache.
I usually do a mustache, a spring stash,
Mm-hmm.
just to
All
let
right,
it
I'm
get.
down like 5 games, so it's not like you're gonna have to lose.
Hey man, anything can happen. We're only halfway.
More
through
than
the
that,
season.
huh? More than that?
To the first place team, yeah, you're down a lot more than that.
I don't give a shit about you, Raymond. You fuck.
He's angry.
I'm not
just
feeling
felt-
good today.
You just
Wait
found
till
out
that
he's gonna-
February. Wait till that February cold just starts hitting that face and that bald head of yours.
He's
not
Oh,
gonna
like
have
a-
to shave off the rest of the fucking landing strips on the side of his head.
That's all I got. That's why I've had the same haircut forever.
He's gonna have to nair that horn that's
Ooh.
been growing on the top.
I have a yearbook. So I'm going to go in the 8th grade so I can get a picture of what Bill looked like in 8th grade.
No,
So
he's
we
right. He
have-
looks exactly like this. He's wearing a hat and he's got some stubble.
And a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
He's holding a dick. You can't see it in the picture though.
My own dick.
Yeah. I thought it was Fulton's.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, but it's through the cotton, through the
Yeah,
through the
Russell-
sweatpants.
Yeah,
Russell
Never
sweatpants,
went
yeah.
underneath.
No flesh to flesh. That's
no,
that's
that's
illegal.
just-
That's gross.
Sorry.
My liege.
That's some computer difficulties.
Queen's time.
No, the camera wouldn't connect. I had to restart the camera. Like it wouldn't even. The
So
Zoom wouldn't even.
someone lost their head at Queen's Landing, is what you're trying to say. The IT guy is no longer with us. Respect.
I had to kill him. Like not even the camera on the laptop would work. So I had to restart. It was. being
He's
dumb.
downsizing ahead of the move.
Mm-hmm.
Not all
Oh,
of
but the flag reigns high at the Queen's Landing right now. It's still there. Look at that thing.
Can't take all the peasants with me. So you got to make sure you show them
clack 'em.
you're still in power.
Bill, did you
all
see
these
this?
all these
Go
free
ahead.
jizz
Go ahead.
peddlers Bill's been keeping around for his cups all these years. They gotta
Oh.
go.
Bill, did you see the breaking news today?
Which one?
The Julia Rose,
Who the fuck's Julia Rhodes?
Jake Paul's girlfriend. She has floated the idea for the undercard to
She
mud
showed her
wrestle
boobies at a baseball game once.
Tyson
That one?
Fury's. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I might buy that fight now.
I'm not.
That with the spank bank material you guys giving me today, the Adriana stuff from fucking Sopranos, and now this, I might have to call into work tomorrow.
We're here to better your life. We're just here to please, Raymond.
Thank you. I'm gonna come out on Monday like looking like Quagmire.
Yeah, I'm surprised in this area we know anything that you don't know, as a matter of fact.
That's why it's breaking news to me.
You seem very well equipped to be a professional an expert in the area of internet spank bank material.
Right? Like I never heard. I know all I know her from is whipping your tits out. Wasn't that like a Mets game or something and they banned her?
No,
I don't remember.
was
I
that-
think it was New York,
Nationals?
Mets or Yankees.
I
was
just said
Nationals.
I said Mets.
I said New York, Mets or Yankees.
Off with your head, Richard. Off with your head.
Could have been fucking Brooklyn, you old bitch. You might have been going senile. Remember
Yeah,
something from
it
the
was-
50s.
It was before the internet.
That was when they were showing their ankles back in the
Some
50s
old
and
lady
going
in her
hard
house
on
coat threw him out there with her brassiere wide open.
brassiere.